up, everyone? Today's the day we measure up and prepare the intake for the VT, and this is just going to be a simple hot air intake. It's just going to be for induction noise, to be completely honest with you, but today we are sorting it out, we're measuring it up, getting ready to do it. So we're just going to be measuring up, comparing the pipe, and we'll be cutting down the pipe to the size and measuring where this air temp sensor can go into the intake so it won't stuff up the computers and misfire. So guys, I moved the VT up to the shed. It's running absolutely mint, and glad we got this issue fixed. But that's not what we're doing here today. What we're doing is we're measuring up for the intake. Nothing else really. Right, list of items include ruler, pencil, make some bloody room on the bench because there's stuff all space. Need a poly pipe and your intake. This is the old one off the VS. So KN ones are always really good and they always work for Commodores. So yeah, these are the best ones to use. Alright guys, so what we need to do is we need to measure out the pipe so that it's, you know, the pod filter so it sits in here somewhere around here, and make sure to buy yourself a bracket to go onto the pod filter and hold it up. Otherwise it's not going to work and it's going to be essentially really shit and not do anything whatsoever. So you need to measure these things out almost perfectly. So also with the leads, never use this brand. For Commodores, never use OEX. I think that's what these are, yeah. Apparently they're really cheap and they're really crap ones to use. So just make sure you get actual lead brands and not this sort of stuff. So I'm only using poly pipe is because I don't really feel like cutting a aluminium pipe when it's fire danger season, because I'm not too keen on having another bushfire here. So I'll measure this up and I'll get back to you. So guys, when you measure it up, make sure it is nice and straight here. So once you get that measurement, measure, just put a line on that direct spot where you want to cut, and sort of make sure the line on it, when you draw it, it's nice and even, because you don't want a wonky pipe, because it gets really annoying with the installation of it. Just do it like that and you should have it should be nice and even, and so on. But with VTs you will need a bracket, because the engine bays where the air intake, well obviously the air boxes are much larger than the VS Commodores, so you can't just flop them in there, and there's a lot more lines and stuff that are obstructing it, so you need to have a bracket to keep it upright, which is, it is what it is, I'm afraid, compared to VS's, VRs and those early style Ecotech and Buick Commodores These things are just absolutely disgusting. So make sure after you have that line drawn that you measure it up to how much you want to take off. In this case, measure up about 12 centimeters off the pipe. I say about because it's not going to be an exact amount, and always best chopping off less than more, because then you're gonna have to go and get another pipe altogether, and that would just be wasting money. And when it comes to actually doing it, if you guys have an included shed and all the gear like this, which is available all the time, then use aluminium pipes. Don't use these because these can crack and cause issues. So these are temporary to sort of, you know, get the style of how the intake's going to go. So this isn't going to be, you know, this ain't going to be the actual one we put in. But I just wanted to make this video, get content out to you guys, entertain you guys, and this is the way to do it. Just make sure to keep dirt and other stuff away from the pod filter. And yeah, we'll be using this to hold everything. Always use these clamps and things. Don't just sit them on your bench, do them over your lap. It's a lot safer and you'll get a better result, obviously, out of doing it this way. Make sure when you're doing this, don't tighten it up too tight. Just have it enough so that it's stable, because otherwise these types of pipes can easily shatter and crack. And when you're doing this, make sure you have a nice and sharp tool to do it. Nothing blunt, because that can cause you some issues along the way. So make sure you wear gloves and stuff. Don't do it like I'm doing it. So once you guys have a perfect lineup, get on the line as much as possible. Just make sure there's nothing obstructing it. There's bloody sticky tape here. Make sure you're exact on that line before you start cutting. And there should be a nice groove in there. Once you get that groove, make sure to line up the pipe exactly how you want it in here. Tighten it so that it doesn't move. Just like that. But not so much it starts cracking. Well guys, once that's done, open the clamp back up. Forgot what you call these. I know they're not called clamps. Tell me what they are in the comments, please, because I've forgotten the name of them. I know, not very good, right? But put it in there, nice and tight like before. And you need to grab yourself either sandpaper or a filer, or, you know, something along those lines. Get to work until you get all this jazz off of it. Remember, when you're putting the intake in, you want the smooth side to go in, and this side here goes into the filter, because that's just to chuck it on, you know. So it's getting better. So it is doing what it should be doing, and that's good. But what I really want to do is get every single bit of this off. So shouldn't be too hard, I guess, but we'll keep on the grind and I'll get back to you guys when it's done. Alright guys, so in my case I went to sandpaper. I just had some 320 grit to get the rest of that off. And now it's actually nice and smooth. Got most of all that crap off. And now we just get the sticky tape, all of this off, and we'll bugger it. We'll chuck some primer on it and some paint, just because we need no, yeah. Go and chuck on some primer and paint on this, bugger it. We'll have this as a little temporary intake. If it doesn't work, we'll put the airbox back in. But I just don't trust the bolts that are in the VT at the moment. Speaking of bolts on the VT, this has been a really annoying thing since we got the car. It's the only reason, one of the only reasons I legitimately don't drive it, is this. They're not even screwed in. Like, come on, man. Tightened it a little bit, still not enough, so we'll grab out the sockets. Alright guys, I accidentally bought this weird set, so let's see if we can find one that will do the job. So it turns out that this is broken off, so it's still going to be wobbly, but oh well. I noticed this is buggered, but one side still has that, so I think we're going to try and bolt it up. I reckon bolt it up in there, see what we can do about it. So I've done the best I can do with that. It's up there and stable. The OB1 ports there that can be used, so this is what it is. We try to do our best with that. I'm looking forward to the videos that are coming up. Adelaide, stay tuned for that. We are leaving for Adelaide Friday, so in a couple days time. So that means, and going checking out some sick cars, and we're heading to a car meet, so stay tuned for that. And then the weekend after that, we're planning on just VT, you know, getting the new leads and stuff on it, getting her ready for, I don't know, getting her ready for something. Our plans are still very unknown with this car, because I want to do so many things with it and it's just not working out, so I've got to check up on lunch. It's currently being made, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.